Hello all and welcome to Wow Crochet yet again for another tutorial. My name is Mary and in today's tutorial we will be doing this gorgeous little border that you see right here. It is a Picot stitch that you see right there, those little bubbles. They're Picot stitches. Now yours truly occasionally says picoted stitch. It happens. It's just, you know, that's the way it's spelt, so I tend to say it that way. But how gorgeous does this blanket look? It is looking fabulously gorgeous. Okay, and that Picot edge has made this blanket look even more gorgeous. So I'm not going to talk too much, guys. I just want to mention that, oh, I might mention it in the middle of the tutorial instead. There was a little error in recording our blanket here, not our blanket, just our border. That will be in vlog number 12, so you can check out vlog number 12. It's in the description box down below. Yours truly forgot to press record at certain stages when recording the border, so I only got a quarter of the border recorded. How clever am I? Not. Okay, thank you so much for joining us today. If you are new and would like to perform this particular blanket, double crochet V-stitch blanket with its borders, I will put the details to these tutorials in a description box down below. Actually, I put the full playlist there, so you'll get this border, you'll get the 2 rows, those 4 rows I should say. There are 2 separate parts, and this is the 3rd part and final part of this blanket, yay. In the description box down below, and also there's an older version on how to do the double crochet V-stitch blanket, but I used red velvet Karen cakes for that. So yeah, that will be in the description box down below. What else can I tell you, except don't forget to hit subscribe and the little bell button so you can receive further tutorials in your inbox. This is just one of many items that we have made here on Wow Crochet. I'll pop a few more of the other tutorials that you may be interested in the description box down below. Without further ado, we are going to get started with our Picot border. Alright guys, what we will need for our tutorial today is the crochet hook that you used to make your blanket and your border rows with. You will obviously need your scissors. You will need your darning, weaving, sewing needle. I don't have mine available here, only because I'm not going to weave mine in at the end. And the reason is because, well, I'll talk about the reason in the middle of the tutorial because I don't want to waste your time. But to start your tutorial, you would need, firstly, have a look at the way your work is facing you. You want to do your last and final row on the right side, of course, as you've done with the rest of the rows. So I'll get a little bit of a close-up. When you're holding your work and it's facing you this way, see those little V's? They look like V's. They should be facing you. If you are holding your work on the other side, that way, those V's that you see, they're pointing downwards. All right, so if they're facing you, that is the side we want to work on. That's your right side of your blanket. However, yours truly is still working on the right side, but I want to start the actual row, if I can get all this yarn out the way now, sorry, on a long side of the blanket, the length of the blanket rather than the width. And I want to have my first row to be upside down so that when we're finished, the final row will end up the right way. It doesn't make a difference really, as long as you start on the length side of your blanket and not the width. Okay. Initially, when you're turning this corner, you're actually on the width side, but there you go. We are starting on the length. Oh, that's too close. My apologies, guys. Well, stop that. The camera's not working for me today, guys. Here we go. All right, we're under control. Now, I've only got this little stitch marker here just to show me where what side of the blanket I should start on. Reminds me to start on that side. Now the reason being is because your longest side of the blanket doesn't completely match up when we're doing our picots. Has something to do with the amount of stitches we put across. Now if you followed my instructions on how to make this blanket, you'll be out of whack as well. But it's okay. A picot is a giving stitch. So when we perform our picots, we're doing single crochets and then we're doing a picot, more single crochets, picot, more single crochets, picot. When we perform our picot, It doesn't matter where you put it on the blanket. It's the style of stitch allows you to have it in different areas of your blanket. At the end, I'll show you what I mean, so you don't have to stress too much. In the meantime, we're starting with popping your hook in the cluster before your corner. So you pop your hook in that little stitch right there, first one. You grab your yarn. I've made a mess of mine, as you do. Okay. And you just pull a loop through. That's it. No knotting and no tying. Grab your loose end or your tail end and pop it over. I'm going to tighten it a little bit. That's better. Grab your tail end. Leave enough thread for you to weave in at the end. Okay. Chain 1 and single crochet over that thread and in the same space as your chain 1. Okay. That is the easiest part of our blanket. No, it's not. There are easy parts. Trust me. Okay, so your next stitch is your next double crochet. We're just doing a single crochet in the top of that stitch, all right? Now, you're at the corner. Now, the corner is you single crochet in your first stitch, like that. You single crochet in your second stitch. Okay, now we're going to perform our first picot. Now, picots are chain 1, 2, and 3. So all you're doing is chaining 3. The difficult part is getting the stitch right here when we're performing our picot. If you are struggling with this, directly after this tutorial, I will upload a chunky version, a chunky blanket version of the picot stitch so you can see the stitch better, all right? But in the meantime, I'm going to try with my regulars. See that stitch there and the one next to it. You are pulling a loop through and then pulling it through that stitch as well. So you've got that little bobbled look. Okay, so you've done your single crochet, you've done your picot. Now you're going to chain 2. No, you're not. I'm lying. You're going to put another single crochet in there. So you single crocheted, picot, and then single crocheted in the same space. Then you single crochet in your third double crochet in that corner. Okay, and now you have actually not just done the picot in the corner, but you performed your corner by putting the 2 single crochets in that stitch. All right. Okay, these double crochet V-stitches that you see here, you are going to put a single crochet in all of them until you get to that one there. All right, we're going to do that now. Single crochet in every stitch in that first double crochet V-stitch, and then single crochets 1 and 2 in the second, and then single crochet 1 and 2 in your third. All right, so you have done single crochets in those, and those, and now this is where we're going to single crochet in the very next stitch, which is your first double crochet of your V-stitch, right? So you single crochet in there, and then you perform your picot. 1, 2, and 3. All right. Let's get a nice close up so you can see it. All right. You perform those chain 3s, and you put your hook in that side stitch there, and then in the first, in your current stitch as well. I'm hoping this makes sense. Pull a loop through, and then pull the loop through again. Single crochet. Now this is a part where all you have to do after every picot on the side, you just single crochet 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, if you've done your calculations right, you will land on the first double crochet of the V-stitch there, all right? And that is where you perform your picot. 1, 2, and 3. And there's your stitch. You're going through that one there. You're actually going through half a stitch on your last stitch and the last half a stitch on your current. Pull the loop through, and there you go. There's another picot. single crochet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Easy so far? So now that you've done your 8, your single crochet will be above that first double crochet in that V-stitch, yes? 1, 2, 3. If yours doesn't add up, it just means you've done one double crochet less in your previous row. Don't stress too much. The Picot stitch is a giving pattern. So no matter where you put your Picot, it'll still look nice. Okay, so don't stress too much. So you are going to put your hook through there and through your next one. Pull the loop through and through your thread there. Okay, and now you're going to do it again. 8 single crochets all the way across. Now I want you to continue with this stitch, okay, all the way until you get to 1, 2, 3, and 4, and stop at that one right there. So 4 before the corner. All right, go for it and I'll meet you up. Okie dokie. Now this is where we have got to. How cool. We started in our corner there. We've gone all the way across. How cool does this stitch look? In actual fact, so that we're on the same page here, yours truly has this is what I call a flat Picot row. So most of your row is flat, and then you've got a little Picot just for a bit of a kick, a bit of a look about it, you know, an attractive look about it, rather than making the border so fancy. And usually I do a flat, then I go into a rise, Picot, go down, flat, rise, Picot, go down, flat. And that's what I do all the way across. Ordinarily, that's what I do. But for this particular blanket, I think it needs something a little more basic, like your flat row Picot. It's not actually called a flat row. It's what I call it. I don't know what they call it, to be honest with you. I wouldn't have a clue, but it's what I call it, okay? So where you should be now is, if you did your count correctly in your last 8 single crochets, you should have got to 3 double cluster sets before the corner, or 4, whatever, 3 or 4, doesn't matter. I may have extra, I may have less, you may have extra, you may have less, it doesn't matter. Picots look good, Picots, I keep saying Picots, Picots look good anywhere you put them, okay? So there you go. Don't stress if it hasn't lined up, okay? I hope the lighting's doing well, guys, today. I'm using natural light, and occasionally the clouds come around and in and out of the sun goes. So I'm not sure if the lighting's going well. I hope it is. Okay, we are going to chain up our 3, 1, 2, and 3. Then we are going to pop our little Picot, as we've been doing all along. All right, now single crochet all the way across until you get to your first stitch of the corner. Okay, there you go. Sometimes I go out of frame, guys. I do apologise, because what I'm doing is I'm not looking down the camera lens occasionally. I move back and don't look down the camera lens occasionally, not always. Okay, so there is your first double crochet stitch in the corner. You're going to do a normal single crochet in that first stitch. Then you're going to do a single crochet in the middle stitch. And then you're going to perform a Picot. 1, 2, and 3. Let's get a nice close-up so you can see the stitches. So there's your 3. And there's your Picot. Not yet, but it's happening as we speak. Okay. Don't split the yarn like I just did there. Okay. Now you do a single crochet in the same space, because this is a corner and you're performing your corner as well as putting your Picot on the corner. And then you do a single crochet in your next double crochet, and just pull up that loop for a minute so you can have a look, see what you've done. And there you go. So you've performed that little corner, and there's your Picot on top. How cute does it look on the corner? I've done a blanket where I've put a Picot in the first stitch, chain 2, single crocheted there, put another picot, chain 2, single crochet in the same space, and it was just so bubbled and it actually looked good. But for this blanket here, we are doing a basic Picot blanket. I mean, basic Picot border. All right, so now, as we did on this side here, where we started, oh, I forgot to take that out. Sorry, guys. Remember where we started? Gee, I'm not doing well, am I? 1, 2, 3, and in your fourth one, you're going to do the same on the wider end of your blanket. The longer end, not wider, the length of your blanket. Now, I admit this is where I went wrong a little bit. Okay, so the actual stitching doesn't match at the end. I think you end up with 4 through here and then 3 at the end. Don't stress if that happens. Again, it is a Picot border and it is a giving border, so don't stress too much. Okay, so we're not going to count here. We are just going to do single crochets until we get to that fourth one right there. So just single crochet 1, I will count 2, might help us. 3, 4, 4, 5, so still the same anyway, 6, actually it's not, it's a little bit different because we've got 3 in the corner there. Okay, so we're doing our single crochet in that very first stitch of 1, 2, 3, 4th double crochet V-stitch from the corner. I hope it makes sense, yeah? Now we are chaining up our 3 to perform our picot. 2 and 3. Do your picot like that, as you've been doing all along. And then guess what you're going to do, guys? You're going to single crochet 8 across. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Let's try one more picot. 1, 2, and 3. Pop your hook in there, pop your hook in there, pull the loop through, and through again. And then I'm not going to do this with you. We just single crochet all the way across. So stop what you're doing. We'll have a look what we're doing. Okay, so really, if you wanted to talk logistics, like, you know, numbers, that matches there. Now, at the end of this side, not the whole row, just the side, you will find that you may end up with only 2 in the corner or 3. I'm not really sure. I can't remember what I did exactly, but it does end up a little bit shorter than that side. Again, don't stress so much, it will not be noticed. All right, so go ahead, continue this side until you get to, say, your very last picot, a few picots, a few double crochet V-stitches before the corner, and I'll meet you up. We've got to the end of the side, the long side of our border. So far you have done 2 sides of your border, and I said it wouldn't marry up at the end. Mine kind of did marry up. Now I'm starting to panic that whether I've made a mistake, but it doesn't matter. Again, like I said, it is a giving pattern. Don't stress too much. Okay, so I did the 8th single crochet. Now I'm going to do my last picot, 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to pop our hook in there and pull the loop through. Did I say picot? I know, I keep saying picot. Someone keeps correcting me and saying it's picot, not picot. So I do apologise if I say picot, guys, but it is picot. It's spelt picot, but it's pronounced picot. So there you go. All right. No, a little bit closer. We are going to do our single crochets across. Now, we're not going to put a picot before the corner. Just do your single crochets across until you get to your first stitch of the corner. Okay, we're at the corner and there are your 3 double crochets. You are going to put a single crochet, let me blow this up a little bit, in your first stitch, right there. Then you're going to put a single crochet in the second stitch. Now you're going to do your picot, 1, 2, 3. Pop your hook in that like you do normal with the picot. Alright, then you single crochet in the same stitch because you are performing your corner. So you've got to add that extra stitch for the corner. Alright, then you single crochet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Remind me never to work with this yarn again. All right, so there we have it. You have your picot edge there with your corner. See how it's performed that beautiful little corner and it's not pulling too much in like that? It's because we've added the extra single crochet in that corner. So you single crochet, picot, single crochet in the same stitch. All right, I hope that made sense. You've done it twice anyway, both corners, that corner and that corner. Okay, so what the best part about this now is, guys, no, we'll do this one, do it up to there, 4 across there, and I'll meet you up. Now before we go, just so our newbies, for those of you who've just joined us new, welcome. I hope you like this beautiful picot stitched. The reason I say deja vu for me in this blanket is because yours truly has already recorded the border to this blanket. And you'll see if you go and check out my vlog number 12, I'll explain what happened. I pressed record when I was doing my stitches away from the camera, and then I press off when I was trying to record. So you got half a blanket, half a border, and in actual fact I think it was like a quarter of the border, really. It wasn't exactly half. So I really messed up the recording part of the border. So that is all explained in vlog 12. Go check it out. It's a little bit of a laugh. Wasn't a laugh for me at the time because I had to do double the work. I've had to do the recording all over again. So there you have it. So what I want you to do, just do this next row, not row, I keep saying row, do this next side until you get to 4 away from the corner, and I will meet you up. All right, guys, here we are at the end of this side as well. Now this side here, I don't know why, it has not added up for me. And I'll show you when we get a nice little close-up. It's almost like I've forgotten a V-stitch somewhere, double crochet V-stitch somewhere. Let's have a look. See where mine lands? Right there, which is only 3 away from the corner, and it should be 4. I'm not stressed too much. It might actually be 3. I should check the other side, but I'm not stressed too much. Let's have a look at the other side, the opposite side, and yeah, the opposite side has 1 more there. Again, 1 little tiny stitch. You won't even know it. So I'm not taking it undone to look where I went wrong. I don't care. It's for me. If you want to take yours undone and have a look, then by all means. But I have a funny feeling that it's just short on one side. Okay, so here we are at the end of the row. We are going, not end of the row, end of the side, third side, which is your second last side. So we're going to do our picot, 1, 2, 3. I'm learning, guys. I'm learning how to say picot instead of picot. I know. Slap my wrist every time I say it wrong. Just don't slap it too hard. It's my crochet hands. All right. So this is really tight here for me because I've weaved in a few ends there. So I may not be able to get my hook through. I've done it once before, so I should be able to. And there you go. Really, really tight. Single crochet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and yours should be 6, 7, and then 8 in there. Okay, it may be like mine, I don't know, but it doesn't matter anyway. So there we go. 1 in your first double crochet, single crochet in your first double crochet. Now you're at your corner. You're going to single crochet into the corner, or into that third stitch right there. I think I see where I went wrong, right there, down below there. See that? Dearie me. Anyway, there you go. So it's 1, do your picot, 2, 3, picot right there on the corner. as we've been doing on each of the other corners. And then you're going to put another single crochet in the same stitch. Okay, and then single crochet 8 times. 1, actually 7, because you've done, 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Bring your blanket around. It's very big now, isn't it, guys? It's really heavy. Perform your picot. 1, 2, 3. And there's your little picot stitch right there. Okay, single crochet in there. One of my subscribers has mentioned that I say okay too many times in my tutorials, and I do apologize, guys. I've actually gotten to the stage where I'm starting to edit the okays out because I've noticed it too. So bear with me, guys. I'll try not to say it as much. Okay? Sorry, I thought I'd pop that in. So, all right, so what you do is you continue this side all the way through till you get to there, and you're almost at the end of the row. Get to that last stitch and I shall meet you up. Right, we have finally reached that very last picot. Oh, we're so far away, how can you see? The very last picot, we are going to put a single crochet in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so now what you're going to do, you are going to slip stitch into that very first single crochet. Let me try that again, it was out of frame, sorry guys. You're going to slip stitch into that very first single crochet right there, slip stitch, and there. You are going to pull a loop through. You are going to cut your thread. I might cut it a bit longer in case I've messed up again. I can't do a tutorial without having a bit of a giggle about my mess ups, eh? All right, there we go. So what you have done is one finished picot border all the way around. Now I can't fit it in the screen because the blanket is really big now, guys, but you know, I'm very impressed with our little picot border. Does it not look gorgeous or what? Am I asking you a question or telling you? I think I'm telling you, but it does look cute. Look at that. Guys, we have been working on this double crochet V-stitch for a very long time. I thank you so much for finishing the whole blanket out with me. And I also thank a lot of my subscribers for constantly leaving me some lovely comments about certain things that we do within our tutorials. By the way, if you are new, don't forget to subscribe and hit the little bell button so that you can receive further tutorials in your inbox. And if you like this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to leave any comments. Check out the description box down below for other tutorials and for vlog number 12. And I might actually put vlog number 10 in there just for fun. Check those 2 vlogs out and don't forget to smile and be happy, and ciao for now.